Is it working now? If you can see and hear me, let me know in the chat box. If you can see and hear me, let me know in the chat box. Is this working? Hey, hey, if this is working, let me know. Put hey in the chat box if you can see and hear me. Let me know where you're checking in from. I want to make sure that you can hear me and see me this time because last time it wasn't working. Regina, thank you, Regina. Okay, perfect. All right, because I wasn't going to know what to do and I was literally just about to go take my walk and then go eat. But hey, Rhonda, thank you for checking for me, Regina. I really appreciate you. Hey, as you come in, drop where you're checking in from. Drop where you're checking in from in the chat. Tonight, we are talking all about Shopify. So I am going to be sharing my screen, walking you through some things. If you don't know, I am pretty much a Shopify superstar, okay? I've been using Shopify since forever. And two of the most popular videos on my channel happen to do with Shopify. Honestly, it's probably more than that. It's probably a handful of my best videos have Shopify or Canva mentioned in there. So I know quite a bit about Shopify. I have been using it literally forever, since when I started my shoe boutique, which was back in technically late 2017, but we're just going to count the launch date, which was in 2018. I've been using Shopify. And then after that, I started to design websites for clients and things like that. Then I started an agency and we used Shopify to design on as our main platform. And then when I started selling digital products, I actually listed all of my digital products on Shopify with my main business. And then this year, when I opened up my second brand, I actually built it on Shopify because that brand is physical products as well as digital templates and ebooks and things like that. So HBU, if you didn't know, is going to have physical products in the near future. But we started off all digital first, and that is also hosted on Shopify. So I know quite a bit about Shopify. I've been using Shopify for literally years. Let's count. What is that? 2017, we're in 2024, 7 years. So yeah, and I'm a Shopify partner. So I applied to be a Shopify partner. Shopify partners are basically certified individuals and certified teams that know their stuff about Shopify, and they're certified to be able to build out your Shopify store and educate you on Shopify so that way you can navigate the platform with ease. I am also a Shopify ambassador now too. So if you look in the description link, you should see that I have a link that you can set up your Shopify for just $1. That is my personal link. So if you haven't created a Shopify store yet, or even if you are thinking about restarting your Shopify store, use that link so that you can get it for $1 starting off. And it also helps support me because it shows Shopify that I actually am pushing people to sign up for Shopify, which is a win-win because the more y'all help me, the more I can help you. So I see Virginia, MD, NYC, perfect. So Rhonda, Yolanda, hey Cheyenne again, Regina, perfect. So on a scale of 1 to 10, we're going to move straight into business here. On a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being the most that you know about Shopify, where are you on a scale of 1 to 10? On a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you think you know about Shopify? Put it in the chat. I feel kind of bad because we had some people waiting in here and then we had to restart. So hopefully they find this live because that is flipping tragic, okay? Put y'all numbers in the chat on a scale of 1 to 10. Let me see. I'm going to give you 30 more seconds to think about it. with how much you know about Shopify. Hey, Picture Me Crafting from Michigan. How are you? Let's see. I see 4. Cheyenne says 7. Cheyenne, you've been using Shopify for a little while. So JoJo said 5. Regina said 6. Okay, now for everyone, put what your biggest pain point is when it comes to setting up your Shopify store. What's your biggest pain point? And then I'm going to talk about what my focus is today. So put what is your biggest pain point? Let's get it. Put your answer in the chat. Put your answer in the chat. Hey from Guyana. Hey, Eileen. Shout out to you for finding this link, Eileen. I tried to do it via Zoom. So while y'all are putting your biggest pain points, um, this Zoom was actually for one of my programs. It was for one of my programs, and I had expanded it to bomb CEOs to be able to join this Zoom as well. And so, what I attempted to do originally was I attempted to go live in the Zoom and then share it on YouTube because I figured this would be helpful for a lot of people. So I said, let me go live. I don't know how long the replay will be up on YouTube, but let me broadcast it live. That way, as my students are asking questions, y'all can hear the questions, so on and so forth. But Zoom and YouTube didn't want to work together for me today. So here we are going straight from the source and using this. Okay, I see y'all putting y'all answers. Hey, Edward. All right, let's see what some of y'all are saying. Payment processing. Okay, we're going to talk about that. Creating collections. We're going to talk about that. Ideas of what to put on my homepage. We're going to talk about that. Making my homepage look good. We're not going to talk explicitly about design here today, Eileen, but you're in ULC, so we'll talk about that, especially when we talk about Canva next week. So we'll talk about that for sure. Not in super detail today, though. Okay, so my plans and my goals for you tonight is to give you as much information as I can on Shopify so that way you feel more confident than you do right now. I also want to make sure that you are setting up your Shopify correctly. Time and time again, especially when we were revamping stores for the graphic design agency that I own, we found that people had their stores set up wrong. They were charging tax incorrectly. They had the basic and generic shipping settings set up, which was causing them to lose money, so on, so forth. Some people actually had a bunch of products listed and they thought it was live on their store, but it actually wasn't live on their store, all because of one particular setting. So my goal today is to walk you through Shopify really quickly, give you a quick tour because Shopify continues to update. It actually rolls out a series of updates about twice a year. And as it continues to update, it continues to get better. So I want to walk you through tour style. Then I'm going to walk you through the setup of your back end. And then after that, I'm going to give you tips, but those tips are based off of the questions and the pain points that you have. Okay. So y'all ready? Y'all ready? I need you to make sure that you have your laptop or something with you too, so that way you can walk through some things with me. Or if you're more of the person that you want to take notes and then do it in your own space and your solitude, then you want to make sure that you have a notebook as well. So get a notebook and or your laptop. And then when you have those two, comment ready all caps in the chat for me. Let me know when y'all are ready by commenting ready in the chat. Do you know where I can find YouTube editors? I want to promote my Shopify on YouTube, but I don't have time to edit anymore. That's not a Shopify related question, but you can find YouTube editors on Upwork, on Fiverr, on Hubstaff. There's a couple of different places. Okay, I see 2 readies. I need to see at least 2 more readies in the chat. I need to see at least 2 more readies in the chat. I see Alyssa's ready. Eileen is ready. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen and we are going to open up a demo store. Okay, we are going to open up a demo store so that we can start from the basics, the basics of the scratch. Okay, we're going to test the basics. So I'm going to name this test store 2024 TBH. Boom. All right, share my screen now. If you can see my screen, put an emoji in the chat. If you can see my screen, put an emoji in the chat. So today is a Shopify Masterclass. For those who are joining late, we are going to go through 3 specific things. First, I'm going to give you a tour of Shopify, what you can do in Shopify, where you can find things in Shopify. I'm then going to walk you through some basic setup knowledge, but it's some fundamental knowledge that you want to make sure that you have. I'll then give you best practices based on you wanting your online brand to thrive, so on, so forth. Okay. So let me know. You should be able to see my screen and then you should be able to see. Actually, let me just drag this. All right, all right, all right. I see the emojis. I see the emojis. Perfect, perfect, perfect. All right. So let's walk through a Shopify store really quickly. Pay attention, okay? Because a lot of you may be getting lost in the sauce because there are a lot of things that are nested underneath a couple of other things, okay? So first things first, whenever you create your Shopify store, you have to set what's called a Shopify store name. Pay attention to that store name because 9 times out of 10, they're going to default that to be your Shopify URL. Why is this important? This is important because as you install certain apps, as you decide to get maybe Afterpay, ZipPay, Klarna, any of those things, they ask you specifically for your Shopify URL, not your custom domain. Okay? When you are syncing Klaviyo, they ask you for your Shopify URL, not your custom domain. You want to make sure that you know exactly what your Shopify URL is. 9 times out of 10, it's going to be the very store name as you see it in this top hand corner, .myshopify.com. If you have different words, like multiple words within your store name, Shopify typically adds dashes in between them. So to show you what I mean, I'm going to go to settings and I'm going to show you what my store name is, or what my domain is. I'm sorry. I'm going to go here and you're going to see that it says test-store-2024tbh.myshopify.com. That is my Shopify URL. It doesn't matter if I buy a new domain, I still need to know what my Shopify URL is. Another reason you want to know your Shopify URL even after you buy a domain is because in the case of an emergency and for some reason your domain is down or something isn't working within your DNS settings, you can always default to your My Shopify domain, okay? So you want to make sure that this My Shopify domain makes sense. I've seen it all. I've seen Miss Pookie Pants 2024. I've seen beauty in real life, 2024, my Shopify, all these things that are completely unrelated to what the brand's name actually is. You want this to match what your brand's name actually is, because if something happens and people got to go to misspookiepants.myshopify.com, they're not doing it. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? And as I go through this masterclass, if I am giving you clarity, if I share something that you don't know yet, give it a thumbs up, and then also put gems in the chat box. That helps me know that I've clarified something for you. It helps me feel good about myself, but it also helps me know what other topics I should be bringing to you in the form of long form videos, future lives, so on, so forth. Okay. So y'all still with me? Yes. Yes. Let me see. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, I see a thumbs up. Okay, perfect, perfect, perfect. All right, so on your home page, this is where you're going to be able to see a snapshot of everything. Once your store is actually set up, you'll see a snapshot of everything on this page. So any orders for the day that you have, any important notifications will all be on here. In your orders section, you're going to have multiple different subsections within your orders. Okay, so in your orders section, you're going to have something called drafts. You're going to have all the shipping labels that you've ever sent out will be in here. You can also create shipping labels from scratch in here as well. That's separate from an order. And then you have abandoned checkouts over here. So anybody that ever abandons checkouts, if you ever want to know what their email address is, what their name is, so on and so forth, you can actually see who abandoned checkout underneath the orders tab. Okay. Y'all still with me? Y'all can still hear me and everything fine? I don't see nothing going on in the chat. So if you can still hear me and see me, put I'm here in the chat. Put I'm here in the chat if you can still hear and see me. Before I continue blabbing my mouth and y'all can't even hear and see what I'm talking about. Let's see, let's see. Okay. Okay, perfect. I was getting a little concerned. I thought it cut off there for a minute. Hey, y'all are quiet. Okay. So that's where you'd see your abandoned checkouts. Then underneath products is where you're going to add all of your collections. But what I really love about Shopify is you have the ability to actually manage your inventory. So when you click inventory, right, you can actually add things here that aren't for sale yet. So let's say you have something that you just placed a bulk order for something, or maybe something's in the creation process and you want to go ahead and add it to your inventory ahead of time because it's on the way. You can do that by adding it to inventory and letting them know that it's not here yet. And then Shopify will have it kind of like on a backlog for you, which is really cool. Another thing is once you add inventory, Shopify tells you what the value of your inventory is that you're sitting on as well in here. So I actually have this within my real deal profits pricing spreadsheet that I have within HBU. In there, it actually calculates how much the value is of the inventory you're sitting on. So this is kind of like the digital version of what that spreadsheet does, but I like to have the hard copy spreadsheet because it helps me stay on top of things and stay organized, and I'm like a paper type of girl anyway. So having that spreadsheet before I input into Shopify actually helps a lot. You then have purchase orders. This is if you need to create something for a large corporation, a large company, maybe somebody's getting something in bulk. So where I get my facials done at, like my facials, massages, and things like that, they actually get other small businesses to bring their items in bulk that they can then, sell on behalf of them. So that person created a PO for my spa, so that way my spa could buy things in bulk and then resell it to their consumers. You then have gift cards under here. Transfers and catalogs aren't necessarily important unless you have multiple locations. So that's that. Now, gift cards were super important before this year because gift cards before were like the only way that you could give store credit on Shopify. Now, Shopify added the ability for you to give store credit. So you can actually refund somebody and add it to store credit, and then they'll be forced to create an account with your store on Shopify, and that will actually retain the store credit based on whatever parameters you set up, whether it expires or whether it doesn't. It'll retain that store credit for you, which is really, really cool. Customers is where you'll see the list of your customers all in one place. You can set up segments within here as well. And so you can add new segments, or you can just pay attention to the segments that Shopify creates for you. So you'll notice that they're going to have different segments such as abandoned checkouts, people who purchase more than once, people who haven't purchased. This right here is key. When you are setting up your email marketing platform, or if you're setting up your SMS platform, you want to be segmenting your list on those platforms. So the email and SMS platform that I recommend is Klaviyo. I know that a couple of people like PostScript for SMS because it's simpler than Klaviyo. I like to have everything all in one place if I possibly can, so that way I can use the power of automation when I want to be hands off with something. So if you are using an email platform or an SMS platform, you want to make sure that your audience is segmented based off of a couple of different things. And one of those things is definitely behaviors. Can you guess why you want to segment based on behaviors? Can you guess why you want to segment if somebody has purchased multiple times, if somebody hasn't purchased from you? Can you guess why? I want you to take a wild guess. You can put it in the chat if you like, right? I work better and I teach better when I have interaction, by the way. So the more you interact with me, the better, the juicier that this session can be. If you don't interact a lot, then I'm just going to blaze through this so I can hop off. Okay? So if you want to learn more, all that type of stuff, make sure that you're engaging with me, because when you got a question, I'm going to look at it like, well, I was asking you questions, you weren't answering them. So why would I answer your questions? That's how I would look at it, right? So pretty much you want to have your email list and your SMS segmented because you want to tailor your campaigns to them. If somebody abandoned checkouts with you, you want to make sure that they're getting a different campaign than somebody who just purchased from you. It should be two different types of messages that you should be sending them. The same for people who purchase more than once. You can create a loyalty type of sequence where you're sending them maybe VIP sales, special offers, so on and so forth. This hat is like sideways. Okay, so that's why segments are important, because Shopify will start to segment them for you. And you can come in here and you can actually hit these three dots and export them and then import them to whatever platform it is that you want to use. If you use Klaviyo though, and you sync it correctly, it can actually pull the data for you and it'll share data with Shopify. All right, so when you go to content is where they're going to host all of the files that you upload for your website, period. Okay? Any product pictures, any banner pictures, anything like that will be in files. So if you're ever wondering where a file is, or if you ever want to download a specific banner or something like that, you can come into your files by clicking content and then clicking your files. What I like to do, a hack or a cheat code, is if I know that I'm about to design something, or if I know that I'm uploading a bunch of products at once, I'm going to come into files and I am going to upload all of the images that I have. So let's say I'm uploading maybe 10 products at a time, and each of those 10 products have 5 images. That's 50 total images. Instead of me going product by product when I go to add it and then adding an image by image in each product, I'm going to go here. I'm going to literally upload files and then select multiple files. So I can open this up and then I literally can say, boom, what is this? Okay, I literally can say, okay, I want to upload all of these. Open, it's going to automatically start loading all of these. And now I can go wash the dishes. I can do something else on another tab while it's uploading all of my 50 pictures. Like I said, you could do this with banners, you could do this with collection images, you could do this with product images specifically. You can do all of this. Now, another hack. So pay attention, because as I'm walking through the tours, I'm actually giving you hacks and all the things in one. So make sure that you're taking notes, keeping up with me. Another hack when you're uploading files is you want to think about SEO, right? SEO exists in multiple places on your website, but when you're uploading files, you want to think about SEO, which means you want to name your files correctly, okay? Keep that in mind. I'm not going to go too detailed in it because that could be a completely different lesson. And actually, that is a completely different lesson that I teach my students and my members inside of my programs like BCEO and stuff like that. So I'm not going to go too detailed in it, but just pay attention to SEO when you're uploading your pictures, because that stuff matters, okay? Just as much as it matters when you are going into other parts of your website. All right. Finances is where you're going to see anything that Shopify is monitoring for you in terms of if you have capital, it'll appear under here. If you have a loan or something like that you want to set up on here, it'll have all that type of stuff in here. So you can walk through this and set it up, okay? Shopify also has a credit option. So if you want to join the wait list for their credit card, you can. Me, I'm a big advocate for using Capital. So I use Shopify Capital, Stripe Capital, PayPal Capital. I like to use Capital versus just a traditional loan sometimes because Capital gets paid back as you make sales. So if you use Shopify Capital, let's say Shopify gave you $1,000. As you're making sales, Shopify is going to take a small percentage of each sale to pay back your capital. On your contract, they're going to have different terms, obviously based on the person, based on the business. But your contract may say you have 24 months to pay back $1,000. Your sales may outperform that, and you may be able to pay it off in like 4 months. And then Shopify will be like, "Oh, okay, you're doing pretty good. Let me offer you a bigger capital offer." So on and so forth. So for me, I think my biggest capital offer has been, I think it was like 13 or 14,000. So that's really good. Whenever I get capital, I basically try to pay it off in a fraction of the time. And what you want to do is you also want to make sure that you keep your frequency of sales up. So if you decide to, take the opportunity and use capital when you're presented with it, make sure that you have a plan to actually generate sales, because if you end up going basically into a dead space, that's going to hurt you. I've done that before too, and then I had to wait months until I got another offer, and the offer wasn't nearly as high as the last offer. Okay, y'all still with me? Are y'all learning something new? Yes. One of my ULC students said she thinks the chat is down because she didn't see an option to comment. I have no idea why. Y'all still with me? Drop gems if you learned something. If you learned something so far, drop gems, and we're just on the tour. Picture me crafting. You said that you were a 0. I think you said you were a 0 for Shopify. Are you getting a little bit of knowledge already? Picture me crafting. All right. I see gems. Yes. Perfect. Thank you. Now, my favorite part, other than the visual branding. Hey, Symphony. My favorite part other than visual branding, analytics. Analytics are key, okay? These are the queen pins, okay? You need to pay attention to your analytics for several reasons, okay? You want to be able to make decisions. You want to be able to craft strategies. You want to be able to see what's working and what's not working. Pay attention to your analytics. Shopify does a great job of giving you so many data points, and it grinds my gears when people don't take advantage of this. There are not a lot of platforms that give you this amount of analytics, especially on the lowest plan. Well, not the lowest now, but they're lowest of the main plans. Not a lot of platforms are giving you this level of analytics for $39 a month. Okay. They break it down for you to a T. Do you know that when somebody orders from you, you can track back their behavior and Shopify will tell you they came from YouTube. They came from this link. They came from this place or this place. It's crazy, right? It's very detailed. A reason why you want to make sure that you're hyper focusing on this, especially, is if you are running ads, if you are working with an influencer, if you are anything that you put paid. I mean, you should be paying attention to your analytics, period. But especially when you're putting paid tactics behind something, pay attention to it even more. Because you could be running an ad that let's just say you're running a meta ad, Facebook, Instagram. On their side, it says that you have 1,000 people clicking your ad and coming to your website every day. But then when you go on your website, those people are only spending 0.2 seconds on your website. Or, those people maybe they're spending more time on your website, but they're adding to cart and not checking out. And so out of the 1,000 people, maybe you got 300 to add to cart, but nobody checked out. When you look at that, you're able to tell a story like Symphony said, but then you're able to pinpoint something that's going wrong. So if you have a bunch of people coming to your website, but they're falling off in 0.2 seconds, you need to revisit the ad because your target audience is off. You could be sending 1,000 people, but it's off. And this is especially crucial now because Facebook ads and Instagram ads, when you go into your Meta Business Manager, which is where you should run all your ads, they have AI technology now, which allows you to expand your audiences. I don't use that. And even if you put that you don't want to use it, you have to put no in multiple places, because that happened to me with HBU. We were running an ad and I put no, but I didn't check no in all of the areas. So it still used the AI technology to expand my audience. Well, guess what? I ended up getting a crazy amount, like 4,000 people to my website within like two or 3 days. And when I looked at my analytics and I looked where they were coming from in the top locations, it was India, like Bali, random places. And I looked deeper and I realized that they were coming and they were dropping off. So then that prompted me to go and look at the ad to figure out what was going wrong with my audience. And then I noticed that that box, although I had checked one of the boxes was still set to on for that AI technology to expand my audience. So that's another hack right there. I'm just dropping a lot of hack and a lot of gems, right? A lot of hack and a lot of gems. And I'm teaching you from my experience, okay? So everything that I share with you today, disclaimer, is based off of my knowledge of Shopify, based off of my knowledge of business. Any other platform or tool that I reference, whether it's Klaviyo, Canva, Instagram, Facebook, Meta Business Suite, any of the things, is based off of my journey, my knowledge, my experience that I have experienced with either one of my brands or one of my clients' brands, okay? So, if you appreciate learning from me, then take notes, stay tuned, all the things. I'm going to pause really quick to answer this question from Days of Dom Life. How do I get people to my site? You get people to your site through a bunch of different ways. You have what's called paid traffic. You have what's called organic traffic. Organic traffic is like your organic content that you're posting on social media that you're not putting any money behind. That's your UGC content that you're not paying for, that your customers are generating. That's your YouTube videos that you're putting out. Organic content is also your emails, your text messages, things like that. Paid content is when you pay an influencer, you pay for UGC, you're paying to run an ad, you're paying for paid promo, so on and so forth. So how do you get people to your site? You can use paid strategies, organic strategies, or you can use a mix of both. When you decide on what strategies you're actually going to use, let's say you decide to use organic strategies, you want to then like hone in on what specific areas of the organic strategy are you going to use. And so what that means is I just listed out a bunch of different ones. So if you're going to do Instagram content, YouTube content, and emails, now we need to map out what your Instagram content strategy is. Now we need to map out what your YouTube content strategy is. And in order to map out those strategies, you have to know certain things about your brand, such as your PMVs, which is your purpose, your mission, your values. You also need to know your ideal customer. I call it your bullseye. You want to know everything about them, their desires, their pain points, who they currently shop with, where they live, what their age is, what type of jobs they have, what it is that they're looking for, how do they feel, all the things. You want to be able to have all that information about them so that way you can create better content that they would want to either save, like, engage with, and then that will push them to actually go to your site and then want to convert. So that's just an example, but like I said, it goes so deep because there's multiple of different paid and organic ways, and then based on each way within, whether it's a paid or organic sector, you then have a strategy for each thing. So for example, in Bomb CEO 2 weeks ago, we talked about an email list building strategy. And then we started talking a little bit about how to convert those people from your email to actually go to your website. That's an organic strategy, but you have to think granular and you have to fine tune all the way down and then map out a strategy for each specific area. In the future, which next week, actually, we're going to talk about our full customer journey. And so everybody is going to be able to pinpoint what specific strategies they want to use to generate traffic and what strategies they want to use to build loyalty throughout their entire process. Once we determine that, then we have some sessions coming up next month where we're going to get deeper into content. We're going to get deeper into different types of content. They're going to map out their content strategies, the whole 9 yards, the whole shebang. The good thing about Bomb CEO 2 is there's a bonus bank of lessons. And in that bonus bank, I literally have bonus bank lessons based on how to come up with your content pillars, how to determine what your cadence on your platform is going to be. So that way you can develop consistency. I even have, if you want to do YouTube, I have a full insider training on how to create YouTube thumbnails and the strategy behind that. So it's multi-layered, Days of Dom. But if you do decide to join my membership program, Bomb CEO, we uncover that and more. We unpack all of that. So hope that answered your question. All right. So yes, would love an email list. Yes, you definitely should join. That was a very juicy lesson for sure. And we take action after each one of our sessions. So you're not just coming and learning, you're taking action during the session, and I'm also giving you homework as well. Okay? So it's definitely lit. I don't know if Regina's still in here, but if she is, she's actually one of our Bomb CEOs, and she can attest to the fact that you gotta execute. Okay. So, and I'll drop the link in the chat for you so you can have it. Boom. And you can check it out. And you can use the code YouTube. If you join this week using the code YouTube, you actually get to join for $67. So, all right. So back to this. We are on analytics, and then your reports are pretty much your analytics that you can export in PDF form. So you can see different reports here, or you can create a custom report. Until you are advanced with data collection and you know exactly what you're doing, there's no need to really create a custom report. However, if you're feeling froggy and you want to do that, you can, but Shopify does a great job of giving you a lot of like reports based on essential benchmarks. Okay. So there's 89 different reports that Shopify creates for you. Now, have y'all ever seen somebody vlog their launch day or something? Maybe they're launching a new product or a new collection, and they go ahead and then you get to see how many people are checking out at any given time. Anybody ever seen that? Put me in the chat if you've ever seen that. Like they'll go live, or maybe they'll be vlogging and they'll show their screen, and there's this thing on the screen that shows you a globe, and it tells you like where people are adding to cart from, like locations and stuff like that. Have y'all ever seen it before? Have y'all ever seen it before? I see it all the time on everyone's vlogs that I watch that has something to do with launching a new something. They always show this screen on Shopify, and then you hear the ding, and they always show this particular screen on Shopify. I'm asking because I can show you. Okay, so picture me crafting said me. Siffy said I've seen that before. If you are interested in documenting what it looks like when you launch something new, or even if you're having a sale and you want to document what the traction looks like on your website, here is where you do it. You do it inside of Live View. So Live View has this global layout here. It'll tell you how many visitors are on your site. It'll tell you how many sessions you had. It'll tell you the total sales or total orders. And what I love to look at is customer behavior down here. You get to see how many people have a product in their cart, how many people are checking out, how many people purchased. It doesn't matter if your product is digital or physical. All of this stuff still works because digital products, they have to add to cart and buy as well. Okay. So when I launched HBU, I had an oopsie and I had it in test mode. I forgot to take off my store off of test mode. A lot was happening. I actually share that story in a live. And I think that live was done in February. So if you want to watch that, I will grab the link and I'll put it for you. But I'll also put it in the description after this live is over with if you want to watch that. It's a really juicy story. And a lot happened that day. And so I was in a rush to make sure that I opened up the store at a decent time. I was in so much of a rush that I left the store in test mode. And then what I kept seeing was everybody was adding to cart and people would start checkouts, but nobody was purchasing. And I was like, what the heck is going on? Maybe they're mad at the price point because we're not shipping anything yet. Like I told you, we launched with all digital products. And so we don't have any physical products yet. So I'm like, it's not the shipping fee because it's no shipping fee. Why aren't people checking out? And then that prompted me to go to my social media because I was like, okay, maybe people need to know that I'm open. So I went to my social media, but then luckily there was a comment where the person literally said, it's not letting me check out. It keeps fake checking me out, but nothing's happening. And that allowed me to notice that I was in test mode. So this is not only cool for you to vlog or for you to record and document, but this would allow you to see if your store is actually live, up and running or not, or if it's in test mode. Regina said, yes, I just finished my Target Bullseye Persona. Yes. Days of Dom. So Regina is still here. So if you want to ask her any questions about BCEO, you can type them in the chat and ask her. And she can answer them for you. I always feel as though it's better to get an answer from somebody who actually purchased the thing or is enrolled in the thing because they can attest to it and it comes off better from them than me because I'm gonna toot my own horn, but I want you to be able to ask her any questions you have. Maybe you can ask her how the email list building session was and so on and so forth. Yes, you did, Valerie. You were one of the people who told me that it was in test mode. So shout out to you. All right. So we've covered so much already and we're still just on the tour. Then you have marketing. You have the ability to create campaigns through Shopify by connecting different marketing channels here. Okay. This I honestly don't use as much. But some people really do like using this. Okay. Regina, if you can put how the sessions are in BCEO, how you feel like they are to you and how much you like them, that would be great. Or how much you hate them if you hate them. Put the honest truth in the chat. That would be amazing. Thank you. And then in marketing, you also have automations as well. So Shopify has this thing called Flow now, where you can create emails in Shopify. Do I recommend it? If you are pressed for a budget, yes. However, I don't really see that as an excuse because Klaviyo is free up to 250 email subscribers and they have a whole bunch of parameters for your SMS, but you can start Klaviyo for free. Before Shopify started promoting this Flow thing, Klaviyo was its prime time partner. Everything was Shopify Klaviyo, Shopify Klaviyo. Now they have Flow just as a way to make it easier for people who feel as though Klaviyo is super advanced. So you can use Flow if you'd like to. These are the automations that you can set up in Flow. But I'm a Klaviyo girly. Last but not least, we have discounts. This is where you can set up any and all discounts that you want. Buy one, get one free. You can set up percentage off, dollar amounts off, so on, so forth. Underneath your sales channels is where you're going to see the theme for your store. This, I feel like y'all already know, because this is the part that people usually hop to. You create the Shopify account, and then you hop to designing your store, and then you add products, and that's it. And you only do the bare necessities as Shopify sends you warning signals. So I feel as though y'all probably know this a little bit. In themes, you get to pick what theme it is that you want. They have a theme store. You can buy themes or you can pick from their free themes. You can also import your own themes. Here is where your blog posts live. If you want to add a blog to your store, here is where your pages are, where you can add additional pages. Here is where you set your navigation. Important. I have been to so many websites whose menus did not make sense. Your menus didn't make sense. Here's a tidbit from me. If you are going to have your collections and you're going to have, let's say, 3 collections, and then within those 3 collections, why are you laughing, Valerie? Those 3 collections, you have separated types of products. Maybe you have, let's do physical products. So maybe you have pants, shirts, jackets. Your menu should be segmented the same way. So if we go to Fashion Nova, let me show you an example of what I mean. If we go to Fashion Nova, if I hover over women, look what happens. New, clothing, then clothing breaks down into more. Back in stock, sale, dresses, matching sets, swim, blah, blah, blah. If I do men, why did it stop hovering? If I do men, boom, same thing. Once I click it, it's going to go over here. Boom. Top, shorts, all the things. It is not okay for you to just say shop all and then have home. That is not okay. So we want to make sure that we go into these menus and we set it up correctly. So you see where it says main menu? This is the main menu that's going to show up at the top. So you see how Fashion Nova has this at the top? Secret, Fashion Nova uses Shopify. You see how Fashion Nova has this at the top? This is where your main menu is. So you want to come in here and you want to set this up specifically, okay? And let me teach you a little trick. If you want to make something a sub menu of something, let's say I wanted this to be clothing like how Fashion Nova has it. Maybe I want this to be clothing, but then under clothing, I wanted tops. I don't got no link. Please don't. Okay, let's do all. Boom. Okay, so maybe clothing, I have tops, and then I'm going to do pants. I'm just going to link anywhere. I'm linking random places, but you will actually link to the specific collection that you're labeling, okay? I hope that makes sense. All right, so let's say I wanted to make tops and pants a sub-menu of clothing. I grab this little bullety square thingies, and I'm going to drag it up to clothing. I'm going to drag it over. You see what I just did? So I dragged it up. So where that blue line is underneath clothing, I dragged it over. I'm going to drop it. I'm going to do the same thing for pants. Up, over. Oops, I dragged it too much over. Up and over. There we go. So now my clothing is a drop-down menu of pants. And you saw what just happened, right? If I wanted to make now a sub menu where maybe under tops it said blouses, I can add this and then I can drag this over underneath tops, and now tops has another sub menu. So when you look at Fashion Nova, all of these sub menus of sub menus, it's laid out like that and it's designed nice because of the theme. but the back end looks like this. A lot of people want to hop straight to design without setting up the back end correctly, but you don't realize that the cool design that you're seeing on the front end is a result of the back end features and setup that you have. If you take nothing away from the time that we spend here in this masterclass tonight, because we actually got to wrap up in like 15, 15 minutes. If you take nothing else away from this, take away what I just said. Everything on the front end is a result of the back end. That goes for your website. That goes for your brand visuals everywhere. That goes for what you put on YouTube, what you put on Instagram. That goes for what people see, period. What people see on the front end is a result of what's happening on the back end. So if your back end is a hot mess, your front end will be too, right? So keep that in mind. All right. So that's the navigation. Picture me crafting. Was that helpful for you? Was that helpful for anyone? If that was helpful for anyone, put light bulb in the chat. Was that menu trick that I just showed you helpful for anyone? Put light bulb in the chat if it was helpful for you. Regina said, Bomb CEO is lit. I have been with Chanel since UOC. She has, and Bomb CEO is on a different level. If you think this is good, SMH, our weekly session is way better. Click the link before doors close again. Shout out to you with the promotion at the end. I love that. Weekly masterclasses, community, and everything in between. I was working on my target persona before I jumped in here. Yes, exactly. I don't exaggerate, okay? I don't exaggerate. Bomb CEO is everything that I wish I had at the beginning stages and that I'm blessed to now have invested a lot of money to be able to have in different capacities from my mentors and my coaches. Bomb CEO is giving you literally, I've invested so much money into knowledge and leveling up myself, and Bomb CEO is giving it to you for an ounce of the price. So you'd be crazy not to hop in now while it's at the ground level. Symphony said, I get disinterested if the menu is disorganized. Exactly. All right, I see the light bulbs. I like, let's continue. All right. So I'm going to show you just like a couple more things. And then I want to show you some setup hacks. But I've been kind of showing y'all a lot of cool things already. Not kind of. I have been showing y'all a lot of cool things already. And baby, this is on YouTube and this is for free. Oh, baby, I could charge for this. Some people have told me to create a Shopify course. I really am brainstorming and thinking about it. It's so much. I got to sit down and map it out. It's so much. And if I ever come out with this Shopify course, it's going to be one of those things where you buy, you do it at your own pace. That's it, really. If I ever come out with a Shopify course to walk you through setup and design and branding fundamentals, because you need to know branding fundamentals before you design anything. OMG, I've seen hideous websites. No shade. But it has to have all of that in there. So then I'm thinking about the magnitude of it all. Woo! And if I make that and then no one actually or people complain about like the investment level, I'm gonna be upset. It's not gonna be like a price as a program because you wouldn't get the hand holding. It would be like a course, but still, there's so much to talk about with Shopify. So I'm gonna try to knock as much out as I can in the next 15 minutes or so. Okay, I should Symphony, huh? How much would you pay for it? Let's see what she says. How much would you pay for it? All right, so boom. Well, let's save this just for the sake of it. Let's save our menu that we just made. Preferences. This is SEO. Read preferences as SEO. So write it down. Preferences are my SEO or a part of your SEO. Remember when I said when you're adding those images, you want to make sure that you pay attention to the titles for SEO. You want to make sure that you come to this preferences page and you set this up. This is SEO. This is also where you can sync your Facebook pixel if you're running ads, your Google Analytics, which I recommend doing, period, if you want more advanced analytics, or in the future if you want to run Google ads. This is also where you can change the password for your store. I get this question a lot. This is a frustration point for a lot of people when you create a Shopify website. Shopify literally will lock your store because they know that you're in the process of developing it, and they don't want people to access your store until you're ready. When you are ready, you come here, you deactivate your password. It's going to say disable down here. It's also going to say disable up here. Because this is a demo store that I created within my Shopify partner account, I can't disable the password because it's not a real store. But if this were a real store, you would see that on the back end. Okay? And I can actually see, let me see if it might log me out if I try to log into HBU actually. So yeah, I can't do it. It's going to log me out of this. Okay. Time is money. Don't waste your time. Period. Simply said 1,500. Oh, that's crazy. It's going to be a little less than that. But it's the fact that you said that much. That's true. Because who else is a design agency owner, certified in Adobe and all this type of stuff, and a Shopify partner that's over here putting together a full Shopify course for you? Nobody. You're right. Thank you for that. Regina said, no hate at all. Our sessions and mentor sessions are hands-on. And what I will say is we are all about execution. We have our business besties that helped a lot. Yes, 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 exactly. We're all about execution. Literally, last week we talked about habits. Well, the theme for the whole month is habits. We're reading a book called Atomic Habits, and we are basically implementing those practices in all areas of our brand and business. But last week was our kickoff call for Atomic Habits. And we talked a lot about mindset and changing the bad habits that we have that are basically being like the boulders to our success. And based on what that bad habit was, everyone set a good habit that will replace the bad habit. And we had to set certain parameters that will help us basically make sure that we keep up with the habit. That's the best way that I can explain it. And so everyone, their first job was to post what that was in the chat. Everyone posted what it was in the chat for their habit. And then everyone has been literally staying on top of their habits so far. So for me, mine was working out, right? Mine was working out and being active 6 times a week and then walking on the 7th day. And I've done that, right? And it was for a minimum of 30 minutes. And so we have different ways that we're keeping ourselves accountable, but everyone has been sharing what that is. So one of our members, she wanted to redo her office to keep her motivated to be able to keep up with the habits that she had, that she set for herself. She did that, I think, in like a day. She made over her office and sent us the before and after picture. So like Regina said, it's about execution and Bomb CEO. So if you've been playing around for a while and you know that, hey, it's time for you to get serious, it's time for you to take action, you value knowledge like this, but you value it on a next level basis where you're going to be given action steps on the call to do together and also given homework, and we're going to follow up with you and we're going to hold you accountable, then Bomb CEO is the perfect place for you to literally develop your CEO mindset, your CEO habits, and your CEO behaviors, level up your sales, expand your audience, and to grow your brand and business. Okay, so definitely check it out with the link that I put in the chat, or you can go to bombceo.com. But hey, Shelly. Shelly's also in Bomb CEO. How are you? All right, so boom, let's move on. Point of sale. This is if you want the ability to take payment in person. You want to make sure that your point of sale is set up correctly. Shopify normally does like the general settings automatically for you, but you still want to go in here and make sure that you walk through these steps so that way they can set it up correctly. I highly recommend getting POS hardware from Shopify. So if you look up POS Shopify hardware, they have a bunch of different options on here that you can actually buy. So I have the old version of this tap and chip card reader. I actually got mine for free, but $49 is not a bad price. So you can buy that. You can use tap to pay on iPhone, which is just an app. You can get the whole countertop if you're really fancy. for when you do pop-up shops and things like that. Okay. But this is where all of the POS settings will go into. So if you do buy a POS hardware for your business, you go in here, you make sure that all the settings are correct. You can actually assign staff to be able to log into the POS system and take sales and do refunds and give change and all the things. Okay. This is Shop Pay. So if you've ever checked out on somebody's site and you see that the Shop Pay thing pops up when you put your number or your email in, this is Shop Pay. Pretty much what this is once you activate Shopify payments within your payment processor, which I'm going to show you how to do tonight because somebody said that was a big pain point for them. And I'm also going to make sure that I emphasize how to add products and collections. But when you activate Shopify payments, it now should automatically activate Shop. And so Shop actually allows people to pay in for as well and do all that stuff, which is super cool. But it also saves your information, kind of like PayPal as well. All right. Then you have your settings. Everything in settings, go through it, set it all up. Okay. We're going to highlight shipping so that way you can know about about the shipping aspect. But you want to go through all of this and set it up. And we're going to go through payments. Okay. So that is the tour. I'm going to get into demoing how to set up shipping, how to set up payments, how to add products and collections. Those are the main 3 pain points that y'all shared. So when I asked the Hustle Babe community what the pain points were early on, those are the 3 pain points that I got. Okay. So products and collections, I grouped into 1. I got payments, I got shipping and delivery. Okay. Those are the 3 pain points. Which one of those 3 are you struggling with or you could use more knowledge on? Put 1 for products and collections, put 2 for setting up payments, put 3 for shipping and delivery. Put it in the chat. Let me see. And based on the numbers, I'm going to decide which one I do first. We just completed the tour of Shopify. Okay? Fast pace. It could have been a 2-hour tour if I needed it to be because I'm dropping gems. Okay. I wanted to give you an in-depth walkthrough of it. So hopefully you enjoyed it. But now I want to focus on showing you how to do some things. Okay. So 1, products and collections. 2, payments. 3, shipping and delivery. That was what I said, right? I should have wrote it down. Is that what I said? You're welcome, Symphony. Yes, Shopify is literally the best. And when I tell you that they update all the time, they update twice a year. Even if it's something small, it matters. So one of their small updates in the past was the fact that they gave you the ability to know how much inventory you were sitting on. One of their updates recently was the store credit update. So it doesn't matter how small it seems. The updates are always really helpful, especially to product-based owners. Okay, digital and physical, or physical and digital in that order. All right, so let me see. I need to see more numbers. There's more people in here than that. Put 1 for products and collections, 2 for payments, 3 for shipping and delivery. Which one would you like to learn more information about or see exactly how to do, I should say? Right now, I got 2 for products and collections and 2 for shipping and delivery. I need some more people to vote. And thank you, Shelly and Regina, for your kind words. I didn't pay them to say that. So everything they said about Bomb CEO is based on their own opinion. I didn't pay them to say that. I didn't even ask them to come on here and say that. I asked Regina once I saw she was in here, but I literally just asked them to come and make sure the live was working. And if they stuck around, they stuck around. So, all right, can I get one more person to vote? 1 or 3? 1 or 3. Let's break the tie. 1 or 3. One or three. Let's break the tie. Valerie said, yes, this was very helpful. Thank you. You're welcome. If this was helpful, make sure that you give this video a thumbs up. It lets YouTube know that you found this live helpful so it can recommend it to more people who need to see this video. It also helps me, okay, because it helps rank this video. It helps me, you know, make more videos like this in the future as well. Okay, we got 2 votes and they're still even. Okay, so we'll do products and collections first, then we'll do shipping and delivery after. And if we have time, then we'll do payments. But payments is super quick. Okay, it's not as stressful as things seem. All right. Y'all ready? Are y'all ready for this? Put ready in the chat. Put ready in the chat. Wake up. Wake up, wake up. I hope that the reason why you're quiet is because of either the delay or because you are taking a lot of notes or doing it side by side with me. All right. So let's go into products and collections. When it comes to adding your products in Shopify, you're going to go to products. We already know that because we did the tour. And then what we can do is we can literally import a list if we have an Excel sheet with a list of products and so on and so forth, which if you have the Real Deal Profits spreadsheet, which I sell through my brand HBU, it doubles as an inventory tracker. Okay, I'm going to show you what I mean in a second, but it literally doubles as an inventory tracker because it's already on a Google sheet and you can just export it and then import it in here. And so you can click import and you'll add the CSV file and bada bing, bada boom. And so they give you a CSV example. So let's see. So I can show you what I mean when I say CSV file. Open. Oh, it's going to open in Excel. Oh, Lord. Okay. So while that's opening, that's how you can actually upload things in bulk. So if you have a bunch of stuff that you're uploading at once, you can import them if you don't want to do them one by one. For the sake of right now, I'm going to show you how to do them one by one. So you would hit add a product. Once you hit add a product, I'm going to show you a couple of things on here. Pay attention. Your title, make sure that it is SEO friendly. Even Shopify's example is technically a little bit SEO friendly. It's saying short sleeve t-shirt. I like to be cute and branded too. So I like to name my things names. So I may name a shirt, that girl, but I need to make sure that it says that girl baby doll t-shirt. You know what I'm saying? So that way there's some descriptions after it and that helps with SEO. Okay. So boom, that's where your title will go. That's my tip for there. Description. You want to think about an SEO friendly description. When you're thinking SEO friendly description, you want to think, I'm gonna give you what I do, okay? I'm not gonna teach you tonight. I'm just gonna tell you what I do. So what I do is I have a sentence that is an engaging sentence for my consumer. That sentence might be an emotional trigger. That sentence might be tapping into their vision of where they want to be as a result of my product or with my product, so on and so forth. And then after that, I break down features and details of the product. So for a physical product, that could be, let's say it's heels, that could be heel height. That could be, is it a buckle strap? Is it a zip closure? That could be, does it have rhinestones on it? Is it a strap up? So on and so forth. For digital products, that could be how many pages? Does it include templated pages? Can this be printed out? Is this a PDF? Does it come with a video that's included? What is it? That's what that would look like. So that's what I do for my descriptions. So you add that description and then you upload your media. You see where it says select existing? This is where we can select from the images that were already uploaded when we uploaded them in bulk. Remember? So I can see everything that I uploaded here. And if I did what Chanel recommended that I do, and I did this right, I can search my files because I named them, right? Then we want to go down to category. You can select from categories that Shopify has here listed for you as to what category this falls within. You then will set your pricing, and then Shopify, this was an update that they added, I think, last year. They added the ability for you to add the cost of your item, and it will automatically calculate your profit that you're keeping. So let's say that your price for your item, you're selling it at $75, but then you tell Shopify that it only cost you $25 to make. They automatically tell you that your profit is $50, your margin is 66.7. Isn't that cool? Now, if you're wondering, how the heck do I come up with a solid price that will give me a healthy profit margin like that? Well, you should work with me so that we can develop your pricing. or actually do both. You can also buy real deal profits from HBU, which I'll pull up for you real quick. You can get real deal profits from HBU. And this spreadsheet comes in really handy, and it comes with a mini video that explains, a little bit. I'll give you a little sauce. But if you really want to know pricing strategy overall, then work with me. We're going to get your pricing down packed, okay? And by working with me, I mean join Bomb CEO and work with me, okay? My programs are the best way to work with me right now because I put my all into them, okay? And it's also best to learn, I think, in a group environment where people may ask questions that you don't ask, or where somebody may be a little bit ahead of you and then you get to hear how I answered their question and use that to guide your steps. Super cool. Down here, you want to put the quantity. You also want to tell Shopify whether or not you want to continue selling when out of stock. The only reason I would check this is if I knew for a fact I had stock coming in. So what does that mean? If you wanted to do like a pre-order, I don't recommend doing a pre-order if it's your first time launching, period, unless you've built such a great audience that you know things are going to hit. But I would do pre-orders on items after I've actually opened up shop and I've built some trust with my audience, because now I can tell them, wait until December to receive a product, and I can check this box that says continue selling out of stock, and I can basically take pre-orders for it. What I recommend doing, though, if you want to take pre-orders as well, is you can actually add an app into Shopify, and it changes some of the wording when it goes out of stock to update to say, hey, you're pre-ordering this item, puts a disclaimer and everything, so that way they know. That's the way that I would do it versus doing it this way. That's my 2 cents. You can do what you want. If it's a physical product or not, you check it. You also can put the weight here. Putting the weight here makes it easier for you when it's time to actually ship stuff. So you can either weigh the total package when it's time to ship out a package for someone. Let's say they got 3 different products, you can weigh that. Or if you had put the weight in before for those products and each product was 5 pounds, once Shopify recognizes that that person bought all 3 items, it's going to say 15 pounds because each item was 5 pounds and that person bought all 3. All right. Over here, you want to put the product type. You want to put the vendor if you want to. Honestly, why? And then you can put whatever collection it's a part of. You haven't set up collections yet, so right now the only collections is homepage, but we're going to do collections right now. And then you put tags. Tags is also SEO, y'all. So think about search terms pretty much that people would be searching on your website. All right, last but not least, you want to pay attention to the status. You can have a product in draft. You can have a product active. It doesn't matter if you put your store live. If a product is in draft, your product is not going to be seen. Your product has to be toggled to active, and your store also has to be live. You also want to make sure that your sales channels that you have are all listed here. So you see I have online store, shop, and point of sale. You want to make sure that all of them are here, which you can manage your sales channels by checking these things right here, and you can set them up within sales channels, this main tab over here. Okay, that is how you add a product. If you didn't have pictures to select from existing, obviously you would just upload new as if you were uploading it from scratch. Okay, that is how you do the products, and that's that. Collections. No, I don't want to save this. Collections are almost similar. But what you want to do is hit create collection. You will name this collection whatever you want. So I'm going to just name it Summer Fling. And then you want to describe it. Describe it because it helps with SEO. So where you have a very fun collection name, you want to describe the collection to make sure that it makes sense. Like, describe, is this like maybe sundresses? Is this mini skirts? What is this? Describe whatever is in this collection, and also describe the vibes of the collection here as well. Underneath the collection type, it's going to say manual or automated. If you select automated, you can set conditions. So let's say you want to say all of my dresses need to go in this summer fling collection. You can say product tag equals dress. And now whenever you add a product and you tag it with dress, it's going to automatically add to this collection. Okay. Manual is if you want to do everything by hand. I'm a little OD when it comes to this, so I do manual most of the time. I have set up automated ones with my clients, but for my stores, I do it all manual because I want to make sure that things go where I want it to go. But there's nothing wrong with the automated system as long as you stay true to the tags that you set up. You then can add an image for your collection. So if you've ever seen a website and it has a collection image above the, like for the collection, you can add it in one of two places, either on the theme itself when you're designing or on the back end. I do both. Okay. And bada bing, bada boom. If you had different themes, you can select whatever theme template that you want from here. But that is how you add products. That is how you add collections. Moving on. In settings, how you want to do your shipping and delivery. I have a full video on this, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. What I will say is you want to make sure that you are setting up profiles for your different circumstances. So the way that I like to set up my shipping profile is I like to do one for domestic, one for international, and I group it that way. You can do the same thing. You can have different parameters that you want to set up. When you are creating your shipping rates, though, you have the ability to set a flat rate shipping rate. You have the ability to use the carrier shipping rates, or you have the ability to set it based on how much somebody spends or how much their product actually weighs. Okay, so I'm going to show you what I mean. When you hit add rate, it says flat rate, which is you setting the rate no matter what. Whatever happens is going to be this rate based on the conditions you set, if you set conditions. Or you can use the carrier to calculate rates. What do? I use flat rate. I don't like my rates to change often, so I would use flat rate, okay? So what that means when you use a carrier's app to calculate your rates, one day UPS may want to charge $15, the next day they may be charging $25. To me, from a brand perspective, that can break trust with someone, especially if that person abandoned their cart yesterday. They come back and now shipping is $5 more. I'm definitely not getting it now, right? That's just me and how I feel. So I like to have a flat rate shipping. Now, you're probably like, okay, well, Chanel, how do I constitute all the different shipping rates? So what's express, standard, all the things? Like, what if I want a shipping rate, a different flat rate for each one? Well, here's your answer. You put flat rate, you select, okay, is this economy shipping? Is this standard? Is this express? Or is this a custom time frame that you're going to set? And you describe it here. Let's say I'm setting flat rate for my standard shipping and I want my standard shipping to be $10. Oops. Boom. It's $10. I'm done. Let's say I want to set now a flat rate for my express to be $30. Boom. Done. And you do it for, all of those like that. If you wanted to do conditional pricing is where you can say, based on an order's price, charge this much. Based on an order's weight, charge this much. So let's say for express, you wanted to make sure that if somebody spent over $100, that their shipping was not $30, their shipping was actually $45. You would put, hey, there's a max on this $30 shipping thing. Let me put $100, then boom, done. Then you come back in and you say, okay, use flat rate express, and I want $45. And now I'm going to erase the maximum and I'm going to put a minimum because I set my max as 100. I'm going to put my minimum $100. So if it's minimum $100, boom, it's $45. Do you see what I'm saying? You can do the same thing with weight. Now, I just said all of this. You probably have a few questions. The questions you probably have is, how do I determine if I should use item weight or order price as a conditional pricing, or should I use that at all? It depends. It's brand by brand. If you are in one of my programs, I will be able to know more about your brand. I will be able to tell you what I recommend for you. I can't do that here because there's no cookie cutter clear option. However, if you do decide to use conditional pricing and you want to base it off of order price, you need to know what your average price of your product is, as well as what your average order value is. If you don't have that data yet because you haven't launched, or maybe you haven't been making enough sales, you need to then base it off of your goal order value and what your average price is, period, because your prices should be set whether you are making sales or not. Okay, so that's how you would set that. Now, anybody have the question of how you can set free shipping over a certain amount? Anybody have that question? I'm gonna let you tell me yes or no in the chat. So put yes if you have that question, and I'll show you. If I don't see anybody put yes, then I'm not gonna show you how to do it. When you're in shipping, as y'all are answering, when you're in shipping, you can actually tell it what zones you want to ship to. So you can hit create a zone, and you can select the countries and all that type of stuff that you want to ship to in this specific zone. As long as the country is not in another zone, you can select it. Right now, I have my zone set to international and domestic already. So all of my international places are in another zone, whereas the United States is in this current zone. All right. So that's how you do that. So you can literally, like what I recommend doing, because typically Canada is similar to US, so you can do US and Canada if you want, or you can have Canada by itself. You can do a shipping zone for UK. You can do a shipping zone for like Caribbean and stuff like that. And then you can do a shipping zone for the rest of the world. My recommendation. Okay. All right. I see one person said yes. Shout out to you for saying yes. Alyssa also said yes. Shout out to y'all for speaking up. Okay. So if I wanted to set free shipping over a certain amount, I would go back into add rate. And then what I would do is I'm going to say use flat rate. I'm going to select whichever shipping option this is. So is it standard? Is it economy? Is it express? Or is it a custom time frame? Let's just say that this is standard. I'm going to give free standard shipping if it's over a certain price. What I'm going to do is in the price column, I'm just going to erase it. I'm going to leave it blank. Shopify will automatically pick up that it's free. I then want to say add conditional pricing. I'm going to make it based on order price. And then I'm going to put a minimum price. So let's say I want it free over $50. I put 50 as my minimum. Now, as long as the person spends $50, shipping is going to be free. Okay, I hit done. That's done. If you are doing this, you need to pay close attention to the other shipping rates that you have. You don't want things to contradict each other, because what's going to happen is when they contradict each other, you're going to see multiple shipping options at checkout. So if they overlap, your customer is going to see 3 or 4 different shipping options, and they're going to be like, wait, okay, which one do I select? Right? You want to limit your shipping options to whether it's standard, express. If you offer free shipping, that amount, that's it. So when you check out on Fashion Nova, it literally says, I think it's standard, then it's Saturday delivery, express, regular express, something like that. You don't want too much going on, because if they have decision fatigue, they're not going to decide to actually purchase. Okay. Days of Dom Life says, I can't wait to join. We can't wait to have you. Hopefully you join before tomorrow, because we have a session tomorrow. We meet every Thursday evening at 7. So if you join before tomorrow, you're in for a treat. And you also get access to all the replays and stuff that we've done so far. And they've been juicy, okay? We've done a lot so far. And let me tell you, my ladies are moving, okay? They're executing and they're seeing results, okay? I love that for them. So hopefully you join before tomorrow so I can see your face. All right, so that's how you would do that. Now, your follow-up question is, how do I decide what the amount is based off of several factors once again? The cheat code is to take whatever your average order value is and whatever your goal average order value is, and then make the minimum based off of that. So for example, if my average order value was $20, I'm not going to make my shipping free above $20 because on average people are spending $20. I need to make the free shipping a little bit of a stretch so that people want to spend more than $20 with me. All right, that's it. That's all I'm gonna give y'all for that one. Okay, that's the cheat code. I hope y'all picked it up. Hope y'all caught it. Hope y'all caught it. All right, last but not least, I am going to show you how to do payments. Okay, I'm going to show you how to do payments. And for those that maybe joined late and don't know what Days of Dom Life is talking about, she can't wait to join. She's talking about Bomb CEO. I'm going to put the link here again. Bomb CEO is my mentorship membership community. We meet weekly on Thursday evenings for strategy sessions. Some sessions are super like detailed to the point where we're in there for 2.5 hours, but you leave with so much done. So like one of the sessions was our target audience, which was our bullseye session, and everybody left with their bullseye mapped out to a T. We had one session where everybody left with their freebie mapped out, their email list building strategy mapped out. It's really some hardcore sessions. But in addition to those sessions, we also have things like wine nights. We have our first virtual wine night coming up. We have different events that we're going to host throughout the time being. This is a new community. We started it in mid to late June, and we've seen so much progress within our members so far. And these ladies that are in here are really some go-getters. So if you want to align with those type of women, if you're serious about building your brand, growing your brand, running your business, with ease or efficiently, I should say, hitting your goals, all the things, then Bomb CEO is definitely where you should be. Okay. And our virtual wine night is the end of this month. Tomorrow we're actually talking about how you can take some stress off your plate by, prettying up your automations and starting to systemize some things. And that's going to be really, really good. Then we're talking about target audience and behaviors and how to actually map out your customer journey and do certain things that will trigger your audience to be loyal to your brand and want to buy from you over and over again. We got a lot of things going on. And in the future, we're actually going to be talking about content, all of that, all the things. Okay. Lisa said, you have the best class I've ever seen. I would like to join your classes. Thank you for the content you put out. Yes, Lisa, come on into Bomb CEO. If you think this is something, like Regina said, Bomb CEO is next level. There's so many things in there, but I'll talk about that at the end. I'll show y'all inside. Let me walk through payments real quick, and then we'll talk about Bomb CEO a little bit at the end. I promise I came on here to show y'all Shopify, but it just so happened that we had 2 Bomb CEO members join the live, and I was like, heck, why not? Why not talk about Bomb CEO? I'm jealous. I wish I could join. I'm sure you'll be able to join soon. Once ULC is over with and you get in the groove of things, it's definitely something that will keep the fire under your butt. Like Regina said, she was in ULC before. This is next level. This is really that consistent push and the consistent drive and fire that you need. At the end of the day, it's mentorship, strategy, mindset combined. All right. All right. So let's go to payments. I'm going to show you how you can set up different payment options. So you're going to click payments in here. This is where you'll activate Shopify payments. Always do this. Don't just activate PayPal. A lot of people don't like PayPal. Don't do that. A lot of merchants don't like PayPal because PayPal tends to, one, hold your money. If you make a lot of money during a period of time, they're going to hold your money and they're going to make you verify it over and over again. And 2, if you ever have somebody claim that they didn't get something, PayPal normally sides with the consumer and it's a fighting tool and nail to get it back. So activate Shopify payments. In payments, if you want to have a backup payment method and activate PayPal or even Amazon Pay or anything like that, you can do that here. So how you can do that is you can go, you can go to add payment method here. and then you can search for a certain provider, and then you can add it here, right? So you would search whatever provider you want. This is taking forever to load. Boom. And then it'll pull up like a whole bunch of different things that you can actually add for payment methods. If you want to add American Express themselves, you can add that. You also have payment providers. So if you wanted to add different payment providers, they have that here as well. So I once had a client that used authorize.net or something. I don't know if they changed their name now, but that's that. All right. Now, how do you add buy now, pay laters? You have to go to the website. So if I wanted to add Afterpay, I think I'm answering your question now, Valerie. I have to go to Afterpay and I have to actually sign up through Afterpay's site. Once I sign up through Afterpay, Afterpay is going to connect to my Shopify store using my Shopify URL, which is why I stress knowing your Shopify URL and making sure that it's something that makes sense. Because Afterpay, ZipPay, Klarna, all of that, they're making sure that your store is legit. They're making sure that you actually make money, all the things, okay? So that is how you can get them to do pay in four. If you're asking about installments for something else, like you don't want to do pay in four, maybe you just want them to do installments that you hold the responsibility for, you can download apps. There's an app called, I want to say it's called Split or something. You can download that and it actually will split things into installments. Here's why I don't recommend that. I'd rather you do pay in four if you can get approved for it, the buy now, pay later, because they take responsibility if somebody does not fulfill all of the four installments. If you decide to add an app where it just splits the amount into installments for you and it's on your store, you take responsibility of it unless you are using a third party app such as Afterpay. I keep trying to say QuadPay because it was QuadPay before it was Zip, but Zip, Klarna, all the things. So use that if you can get approved for it. If you can't get approved for it and you still want to offer installments, that is where you can go to the App Store. And I think it's called Split, but I'm just going to search installments and I'll tell you which app it is when it comes up. Search installments in Shopify App Store. Let's see. Yep, it's called Split. My memory is really good. So this is what I used before. I used this last year. I used this last year, but I don't have it anymore. I cut it afterwards. But it was good while it lasted. But just know that you're responsible for collecting them payments if somebody don't pay. Days of Dom Live said, I just joined. Yay! We got a new Bomb CEO. I love that for you. I'm excited. Please get in requests to join the group, the dashboard. And we will welcome you. And then we'll see you tomorrow in person. By the way, we do our strategy sessions with cameras on if you can. And it's a really collaborative session where if you have a question, you can come off of mute and you ask the question. If you need to show something, you show it on video, stuff like that. It's really collaborative. It's bomb. Bomb CEO. All right. So did that answer your question, Valerie? Yes? Yes? Did that answer your question? Yes or yes? Picture Me Crafting said, I've learned a lot in this live about Shopify front and back end. This is awesome. Picture Me Crafting. You should join Bomb CEO too. Honestly. You should join Bomb CEO too. So Valerie, I'm going to take that as a yes. Yay. Okay, I'm so happy. All right, so now if you learned something new from this Shopify Masterclass, or if you got clarity on something that you were confused about before, I want you to put clarity in the chat, okay? Let me know that you appreciated this. I want you to put clarity in the chat if you learned something new or if you got clarity on something that you were confused about before. Put clarity in the chat. How long have I been live? An hour and 34 minutes. Put clarity in the chat. And while you're putting clarity, I know some may have some questions about Bomb CEO, so I'm going to pull it up and I'm going to do you one better. I'm actually going to log in on the back end to give you a mini tour. So this is Bomb CEO right here. When you go to the website, listen to the video. It's short. I explain what it's about, who it's for. We have enrollment that's open right now. It closes on Saturday. Like I said, we started in June. I want this to be an intimate group of go-getters. I don't play around in here. Okay, don't come in here if you don't want to achieve your goals. Period. Like, just don't join. So if you want to achieve your goals and you're serious about getting them, then join here. Okay. So inside, you get access to literally so many things. The power sessions, which are weekly, guest speakers, challenges and prizes, which right now we actually technically have a habit challenge running. And I just told the ladies that I figured out what the prize is going to be after meeting with my mentor. So I'm happy about that. And then I randomly like give gifts and stuff for different things. Like, we had a giveaway before, but then like I randomly gave a gift for somebody who was a great note taker for us. Like, it's really a vibe, and I really want to push you out of your comfort zone and fuel your business growth. So we're always doing things like that. We have virtual and in-person events. Like I told you, we have our first virtual wine night. I'll be drinking fake wine. So because it say wine night, it doesn't mean that you can't come drink your apple cider or whatever you want to drink. Okay. Work with me sessions. So these are sessions where you're a fly on the wall. As I'm working, I'll go live in the actual group and you will be able to see me map out strategies, work through certain things, etc., etc. Our very first one is coming up really, really soon, and I'm super excited about it. It's actually going to be when my executive assistant comes to Atlanta and we have our in-person planning session for Q4 as well as for next year. And so I'm going to let my bomb CEOs be a fly on the wall so they can hear how I plan for both businesses, my HBU brand, which we're planning for our product drop. Saying that is the way we're planning for our physical product drop, and we're also planning another digital product drop as well. So you'll be able to hear both sides of the coin. You'll also be able to hear other parts of my main business as well, which is the coaching and consulting. And the first place where I started digital products, and I sold over 900 orders of just one product, which was amazing. Okay. Then you also get community access. You then also get the Bomb Brand Resource Library. Our goal is to refresh this on a consistent basis. So far, we have a lot of things in there from the start. We actually have a refresh date coming up this month. So literally, if you join right now, not only do you get all of these things, but you're coming in at the greatest time, okay? And so we're adding some new things to it this month. And then when we work on content, I already got some bonuses in there for content for them in addition to what they already have. And then you get growth focused membership, okay? Or growth focused mentorship, I should say, because it's continuous guidance. I audit things for you. You don't have to wait for the weekly sessions for me to give you feedback. That's what the group is for. You can paste things, whether it be a logo, whether it be a new product that you're dropping, whether it just be anything. We give you feedback. You can actually create polls and stuff like that within the group as well. So that is what is within Bomb CEO. And I'm going to show you just a snippet of in here so you can see the different things that we have. So we started in June once again, and so far we've had all of these sessions so far. We've talked about building an email list, which is the power of community. We've built out our target audience, which is our bullseye. They've built their brands building blocks, which was so helpful. We had an audit session. We then had a bonus session while I was in Dubai. It doesn't matter where I'm at. I come on live unless it's a holiday, then we'll reschedule the date, or unless I physically can't. But we talked about that. The first session was all about mindset and setting the tone. Last week, we talked about developing powerful habits. And that's where we started this habit challenge where people are, becoming more organized, getting all their tasks done, working out, all the things. It's about becoming a well-rounded entrepreneur, period, and not just about like a one-sided goal, okay? Because how you do one thing is how you do everything, and your habits and your mindset bleed into the success that you have everywhere. Okay. So that's why I wanted to build this program differently. We also have some bonus replays that we added in here just for the fun of it. We have building a successful 2024. So if you've never done a yearly plan, this is a session that you want to watch. You want to watch that, and you also want to watch me yearly plan for a new brand so you can see how I do it. We then have affirmations and stuff for 2024. And then I do vision boards very uniquely. So I put the vision board party here for you to watch. And that is separate from our brand resource library. So in our brand resource library, these are all the things that are in here so far. We have a content planner toolkit, which I sell right now, but they get it for free. I then have different content lessons. I have a lesson on how to use Google Trends. I have an insider training, which is me training my team on how to design attractive thumbnails. I have exclusive YouTube live replays. So what we're starting to do now is if a YouTube live is super juicy, we're cutting it. We're cutting it at like the 20 or 30-minute mark, and then we're putting it into Bomb CEO so they can watch the full thing. So on YouTube, you'll see this live, but it'll literally only be about 30 minutes of it. In here, they got the full session. Okay. And then you have our community tab, which is where you engage with all of the members. This is where you talk all the things. And so people be chatting it up in there. I'll show you real quick what it looks like, but like you'll see different posts where we come in here, we do polls, we're posting different things, we're asking questions, we're posting our habit updates. This is the book that we're reading, like I told you. We're doing all the things as somebody making their content calendar. Like we're in here, okay? We're in here and we're doing the things. So that is Bomb CEO. If you want to join, I'll make sure that I put the link. But let me see what y'all are saying in here. Let's see. Is this considered a landing page? It's beautiful. I'm still working on mine. Yeah, technically it is. Let me see. Regina said, I can't wait to see how you level up. See you tomorrow during our live session. Thanks for being so welcoming. I can't wait either. Simply say, yay. Clarity, new clarity. Good. So y'all are learning new things. Althea said, hi, coach. I forgot about the time difference, but I'm going to watch the replay. You're good. It's okay. Yes, you can watch the replay. Ernestine said, how long are the classes? Well, they're supposed to be an hour and a half. However, sometimes we end up going over if there's a lot of questions. Because one thing about like when you pay me to help you do something, I want to make sure that you leave with the answers, especially if you're asking questions about a specific topic that we're talking about in that session. And if anything, if you can get anything from how I operate on YouTube Live for free, I care about y'all for free, but I care about my Bomb CEOs even more because they trusted me enough to actually pay me to become their mentor and their coach. So how long are the classes? 90-minute sessions. If you have to dip after 90 minutes, that's cool. We got some people in there that got children and they be like, girl, it's my breastfeeding time. I got to go. But all of the replays are stored, so you can always go. If we do go over 90 minutes, you can always go into the dashboard and you can watch the parts of the replay that you missed. We're very good with putting the replay up next day. We ask for 2 days, like so for 48 hours, but we typically put it up next day. Our community champion is pretty good about doing that. Did I answer your question, Ernestine? Did I answer your question? Do I have any more questions about Shopify brand building or Bomb CEO? Any more questions? Let me take this off so y'all can see my face. And Ernestine, let me know if I answered your question by putting yes in the chat. You know what's funny out there? Andy was telling me, he was like, I feel like Althea's in Vegas still. I was like, oh, really? And you just confirmed with the time zone thing. Look at him knowing. I didn't even know you were still in Vegas. I thought you came home already. All right, perfect, Ernestine. Let's see. Picture me crafting. Did you say okay? Valerie said everything was great. Okay, perfect. Any questions? I'm going to wait for like 2 minutes to see if I have any questions. Picture me crafting. Tell me about your business. Do you feel like you need a community to help you elevate your business? We are building our business together. That and that. For sure. For sure. Let me see. Let me see. I definitely can't go on my walk now. I might still. I might still do it. I might still do it. I gotta go with my husband though, but I need to get this walk in. I don't care if it's just 25 minutes. I worked out this morning. Um, I want to start going earlier, but it's progress because I wasn't working out at all. And so I told myself I would work out minimum of 30 minutes each day. Well, guess what? Tuh, I've been working out like 80 minutes each day. Okay. These are all my rings. I don't know if y'all can see it. These are all my rings. And then I've burnt 900 calories so far today. So if I go on my walk, I can hit 1,000. And what's crazy is the power of community, y'all. Like, literally, I have my bomb CEOs. I do challenges with them. And so I committed to this habit building challenge of fitness. But then my husband also built an accountability group, and we're doing an August fitness challenge as well. And one of the guys in the group had posted that he burnt 1,000 calories, and my husband also burns like 1,000 and something calories a day. So yesterday I was like, "What's the cheat code to burn 1,000 calories?" And he answered, and he gave me suggestions and stuff. And then look at that. Today, I am at 910 calories, and I'm about to go burn 91 more so I can go over the 1,000 mark. Okay, that is the power of community. Now imagine if I stayed trying to figure this out on my own, and I didn't have somebody else in the community that I can ask that could give me the cheat code to get me to burning 1,000 calories literally next day. That's the power that you can have with your brand, with your business, with your life, with your mindset, with the abundance that you have, all of the things within the membership group Bomb CEO, because you can ask a question, get an answer, and see instant results. Okay? Literally. All right. So no more questions. Perfect, perfect, perfect. All right. So I am going to leave 2 links down below. The link, if you want to sign up for Shopify for just $1, use that link. It helps me out, but it also tells Shopify that I referred you for that special. And I'm also going to leave the link for Bomb CEO. If you join Bomb CEO and you use the code YouTube this week only, you get it for $67, okay? So you get to join for $67 for your first month. And trust me, it's worth 67 times 500. Okay, maybe like 67 times 50, okay? It's definitely worth it for sure, okay? So I am going to drop this link in the chat one more again. I'm going to drop that link in the chat one more again. Look at me surpassing my fitness goals, period, okay? I'm going to be snatched. I was snatched in college, and I need to get back to that. I need to be snatched because right now I feel like a Oompa Loompa, and I need to get my body together. But I've been talking to y'all long enough. I am going to hop off. I will see you in Bomb CEO. I will see you in our session tomorrow. Make sure you join before tomorrow so that you can be a part of our live session. And if you're watching this after Thursday evening and you missed the live session, don't worry about it. You know, although the lives is a different type of energy, don't worry about it. You can still join and get the replay, but do know that enrollment is closing on Saturday. So you might as well use the code YouTube and join, get your first month discounted, and join in on the live session and get access to all the replays and all the goodness, okay? Tap in. All right, I'll see y'all later. Bye. See you in Boss CEO. Peace.